So it's a dark, gloomy night. I've got my axles inside and out of sight. This is gonna be a truck for somebody else. The first time I've ever done that. Never done it before. I don't know if I'll ever do it again. Maybe when my kids start to drive, but they're gonna have to help me. But I've never wanted to work on anybody else's stuff. For a little while when I started, my younger brother and I were like teammates, but that only lasted about 6 days because we wanted to kill each other. So ever since then, I've been building my own stuff. He went off and built his own stuff, and that was that, and that's the way it's been. And I've been on my own journey, just building my own stuff, whatever I want to build or whatever I can put together with whatever I can do. Whatever I can find, I stick things together, and I've had a lot of fun with all my trucks over the years. So I never wanted to work on anybody else's stuff, but my older cousin, that's like an older brother to me, wants me to restore his first truck, which was our granddad's truck, which is a truck I used to get to see and ride in when I was a little kid, that I always wanted one, or that one, or one like it, something like that. And I said no a lot. I think I said no about 100 times to take this job on, and finally he's convinced me to do it, and it's here, and I'm gonna do it. But not only that, he's a little different than I am. It's very nice when somebody respects you enough to touch their stuff, and I certainly wasn't looking for no job. But so that's nice, but I'm a little bit rusty around the edges. What I mean is, I think you know what I mean, you know. I don't mind if things don't look perfect or if they aren't perfect. I just am, my products are a product of what I had and how much of a hurry I was in when I did it. And I just grew to appreciate the look that comes from me. A little bit ragged and rusty and rough. This has got to be a little different. This has to be the best thing I've ever, like, this has to be the cleanest thing I ever do. At least up until this point. Otherwise, I'm not going to be happy with it. I have to show that I can do nice, clean work. When I get done with one of my axles, if it leaks oil, I don't really care. It doesn't mean much to me. I'll put some more oil in it at some point, or it'll be water cooled. You know, I can't do that on this. I've got to try hard. I've got to try a little harder than I normally do with things like that. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be a lot of work. So I'm going to try and bring you along what I'm doing right now. I've got my axles inside. I'm taking my torch and basically just chopping everything I don't need on these axle housings off. I'm going to get a piece of road plate or whatever I have, the heaviest thing I have, to weld this rear to, and I'm going to attempt to turn the pinion. I haven't had a lot of luck doing that in the past, but I'm going to give it a try. All right, my day is decaying here rapidly. I've got my deer butchered and processed and packaged and put away. It was only a 3-day project. Now that that 3-day project has come to an end, I'd like to spend a little time here on Granddad's Chevy. I've got it jacked up, and it's actually a little higher than it's ever going to probably be. I'd probably just like to make it this way, but we'll see. I'm getting used to it being up there, but that's as short as my jack stands would go, and that's where it sits right now, up on top of these jack stands, but they're a little bit ugly, and I'm a little worried about them. I've got it propped up on the body mounts, which is probably okay, but I got a ratchet strap on here because I was a little nervous. The rock floor is not the easiest thing to work on, and then sometimes it can be a little scary. Maybe my jack stand's going to move and dig down and hit bedrock. You know, these things can move, and I think what I'm going to do now is, first of all, I want to play with it a little and get it perfectly level, at least side to side. I'm not concerned about front to back. And then I think I'm going to weld in some bars in between my jack stands to make sure this thing doesn't eventually land on my head. So that's the plan. If I can get that done, then I can cut the suspension out of this thing, basically cut just about everything off of the frame, at least on the outside. Well, I mean on the inside too. The motor and trans is going to stay in there while I build the suspension, even though I might move a few things in the end. That's it. That's the plan. Get Granddad's truck perfectly situated, cut the suspension out of it. Bolts out.
Uncle Jimmy, we're stuck in mud.
Whoa.
Keep
Keep it to the floor, you'll get out.